Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, Molly. All right, I see price is still in the same position it was just before lunch. All right, price is still inside of the breaker. Now we're in the current macro, 1250 to 110. Yep, price still inside of the breaker. Looks like the trend line that I drew here seems to still be intact. The 1 hour fair value gap not invalidated, even though just before 12 o'clock we saw price push much lower, taking out the previous daily low, which was over here. I'm sorry, previous daily low was here. And so we saw price here was it traded down to it. And so we had equal lows, and then we finally broke that right at 12 o'clock, 12:01 was when that was broken. But then we see it traded back into the range prior to 1 o'clock and closing inside. So we still, even after the 12 o'clock hour, still have the 1 hour fair value gap here. So we'll see what this hour brings. We have another 55 minutes. And remember, federal funds rates, so the interest rates will be announced at 2 o'clock. That will be followed 30 minutes later by a press conference, which is the way it's been explained to me is that it's like an hour press conference. The first half hour is like some prepared statement. And then the second half hour is going to be some Q&A from the panel. So it's partially predictable. And then the other part is we'll see what questions come up and what the answers are. So today it's going to be interesting. And so we'll see how we navigate this. But the way price is delivered is going to have a lot to do with that. So good luck this afternoon. And again, welcome everyone who was here this morning and also returning subscribers who this is your first time joining today. Right, Queen and Ray, Shalor, Milad, what's up? I'll give everyone a few more minutes to join in, and once we have a good crowd in here, then we'll take a poll and see how we should use our demo trade during FOMC, just to people have a little excitement and not risk any money. Second. All right, let's quickly jump over and take a look at where the other indices are trading. Okay. All right, so we see that we do have we had the low taken only on Nasdaq. The low has not been taken on S&P, and it's not even close on Dow. See if we check the dollar. I'm gonna go ahead and measure up this level here and just see if we got an equilibrium retracement. Okay, not quite. So we made it to about 40, maybe 45% retracement, not quite the 50%, which would be consequent encroachment of a bullish fair value gap here on the USD. So we'll see how price reacts here inside of the bearish fair value gap. And if this hour or maybe FOMC could possibly send price sweeping this low and down into discounted prices. Yeah. But until we get there, we'll just have to keep checking back to see how the dollar's performing. So far, it's only been 10 minutes. It hasn't really done much. Let me extend this a bit. All right, we can see how small the range has been so far this opening, 10, 12 minutes of the hour. But the last couple of hours, even though we saw it pushing lower, it hit a fair value gap and traded higher back into another gap. So we had the external, now we're on the internal liquidity here. We'll see if price pushes lower, which is what I'm predicting, but my predictions doesn't mean that much. So we'll check back in a half hour or so and just see where things are. Okay, so let's see. Let me log in here. JR, what's up? RPG, Triple C, what's going on? You had me on mute. That's all good. There's nothing really happening right now. Price is doing its thing. What it's been doing the same all morning. Keep putting in lower highs, but the lows are pretty consistent. And we have FOMC coming up in 45 minutes. Federal funds rate and the statements at 2, press conference at 2:30. Statement. The traders focus on the changes in the statement. All right, so we'll figure out if they're still on pace to cut rates sometime soon, or if they're coming back on that previous statement they made earlier in the year, or maybe late last year they made it. Press conference an hour long, has 2 parts: prepare statements read, then Q&A. Okay, so just as I thought. All right, so that's what we have to look forward to for the next 75 minutes or so. I think so too. I definitely think so. Tomorrow will be better. Wait a minute, was tomorrow the day where it's only news once? 8:30. Yep. So tomorrow's unemployment claims comes at 8:30, and then we're clear for the rest of the day. So if you do take a trade today, don't get hurt too badly to where you can't participate tomorrow. Or 10.5. Mm, there we go. 410.5. All right, Ray, we're gonna put a marker here. Regular trading hour gap. hmm. What regular trading? Which day was that? Let me take a look. Regular trading hour gap. Is it 5:30? Is half of it? Hmm. Which day was that regular trading hour gap on? Just today. Oh, I didn't realize there was a regular trading hour gap, or not a large one anyway. Just because we closed yesterday at 4:15, we were at 5:12 when we closed, and then we opened at 9:30. 501. Yeah, we should have had like a 10 point, something like that. Okay. 560 down to 930. Down to 506. Okay. I didn't realize there was one today, but I stand corrected. There is one. Okay, I see where I messed up. I took the 415 candle. I should have took the 410 candle. So basically the 415 candle is the gap. Got it. Yep, that's most likely not to survive during FOMC. That'll definitely be a target, I would imagine. So thanks for pointing that out. Yep. No problem, Richard. As you can see, price is at the same place it was before lunch. Yeah, there's a. Let me find it. Yeah, it doesn't look like any of the big players are announcing today afterwards. There are some companies announcing, but none of the major ones, I don't think. At least not for Nasdaq. We have Apple announcing tomorrow, Richard. Just adjust this for the next 2.5 minutes until the candle closes. Right, moment of truth on this trend line, whether it's going to survive or not. Been riding this trend since 9:30. It looks like it's going to survive here. Yeah, Richard, I would imagine Apple's definitely going to move things. It's such a huge company with a large cap value. So I can't see it not moving the needle. So definitely tomorrow, 3:45 ish. Be prepared for whatever happens between 3:45 and 4:15. Um, I'll be ready. All right, at 1:30 now, let me take a look at session highs and lows. So this daily low is also the lunch low. People might be taking FOMC off. Looks like they're a little slower to trickle in this afternoon. Oh, good deal. Didn't see that happening. Sorry, I was looking at the NQ top 20 companies and trying to see if any of them were announcing today. It looks like only Qualcomm, which is number 18 on the list, is set to announce their earnings after close today. Frank, it's kind of like when you get to the end of the day, it's you're looking for either key levels that haven't been traded to, like pools of liquidity. You're also looking for breakers that form around that time or just before that time, and you're also looking at where price has been. So I would start on a higher time frame and just look and see where I think price was going. And if it's sort of been hinting at it for a while but hasn't moved, then I would use that time period for price to then get up and go in that direction. Um, so as I look at the higher time frame, like we were bearish on every time frame today, all the way down to the hour, and then we flipped bearish on the 5 minute. So if that was the case and we got to the end of the day, then and unless we had just hit a sell side liquidity pool, then I would still be looking for price to move lower to the sell side liquidity pool. Now, if we had just hit one, then maybe I would look for it to go the opposite direction. But that's kind of the way I look at it. Right, the lunch high is in striking distance here. 1467 and a quarter. I'm sorry, 17,467 and a quarter. All right, there it is. Okay, so there's a session high that's now gone. Now I just touched the 830 open. Let's see how it performs. All right, the last time we were here, this was a level it rejected. I don't expect it to reject this time based on why I drew this box. However, we do have a bearish breaker just above, so let's see if price gets that high and then how it performs once it gets to the fair value gap with the breaker. Yeah, that's a nasty range, Queen. If I'm reading you correctly, you're talking about this range here. Four 82 to 417. Ooh. Yeah, 65 points there. That's true. It'll take 1 minute or run down here, take something and peel all the way back in the same minute. Right, so it looks like we are close to 50%. No clear-cut winner at the moment. Got a good amount of votes. Yeah, I don't think I've ever paid attention to the macro for FOMC, so it'll be interesting also to look back and see what the macro did after it's over with. Okay, so the daily high is 529 and a quarter. Oops. All right, so we got a daily high at 529 and a quarter. We have the daily low, which is also the lunch low, and that's at 17,399. So that 130 point range, we're close to the center of that now. Fifty-fifty. uh, Okay, so I see now. So we got about at 20 votes. We were 50-50. Now we're about 10 more votes and we're at 60-40. All right, so we might be looking for the New York high, 17,518, and then a daily high, 17,529. We got another minute or two and I'll close the poll, even though it's really solid right now as far as who the winner is going to be. Anyone who'd like to vote, go ahead and do so now. Oh, okay. All right. All right, Molly, appreciate that. I will go and take a look at that a little bit later. All right, almost 2/3 of everyone thinks that we're going higher. All right, so I'll set it up as a 50-point stop loss down to the down to the daily low. So if it gets down there, then we get stopped out. And I'll have the daily high set up as a TP, and if it gets there, then obviously we don't get stopped out. Lower than higher. Okay, so take out the lunch low, then go get, or take out the daily low, then go out and get the daily high. Okay. All right. Well, most of you said it's going to go higher. In it, and then we're in the game. Let's see what happens. All right, negative 1,000 if we lose, plus 1,600 if we win. I'll leave this here. I don't want it to activate before FOMC. You know what? Whatever. All right, let's see what happens. I guess there's a third option. It could race to TP but not tap us in. All right, here we go. Bearish breaker. All right, edge of the breaker. Uh-oh. Rates unchanged. Okay. Appreciate that, Splash. Oh, you mean they're staying inside of the bearish breaker? Okay, I didn't recognize. All right, so we have 5-minute protected high closed above. So now we flip back bullish. Failed to announce that. Oh, I'm sorry. We were watching this on the 1 minute. We needed to close on the 5 minute. So 2, 3, 4, 5. We need this candle to close above. Okay, it closed. And now it should hit that daily high. Still waiting, 8 minutes in. Mhm. Yeah, I don't know. Looks like maybe missed it by a point, maybe. Let's see. The high on this was 528 flat. We're trying to get the 529 flat. Yeah, missed it by 1 point. And then on the 5 minute, the closure of the candle was about a tick away from closing above the swing high at 9 o'clock. It put a wick above it, but the candle body closed just below it. Rid of some of these lines to see the New York high is gone. Whatever this was is gone. Right, back to the original value where it started. This is our low of the hour so far. So as soon as it started, it pushed down to here and then it pushed all the way up. About 8 points away from tapping us in. Or I'll be right back. Let me just go ahead and grab some water quickly. I am not in a trade. No, 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 Mario. This is a demo. We ran a poll earlier just asking everyone to vote whether we should go long or short. But This is FOMC. Not many people trade FOMC, even people who are really skilled at trading. Wait for price to settle before looking for a trade. Okay. Yeah, I'm not saying no one trades FOMC. I'm just saying a lot of people skip it, especially people who've been trading for a long time. It's just not worth the risk. All right, we'll watch it on the 5 minute now. Grab and take a look and see where the dollar's trading. So the dollar had a major push lower. Now it's retracing on that push lower, about 50% of the hourly candle so far. The inverse of what we're doing on NQ. So we push higher, the dollar push lower, and now we see them both retracing. Brown, high spread. What do you mean by high spread? See if we get a push lower back into the breaker here, maybe the fair value gap, and then it extends and finishes into the buy side liquidity. Oh, that spread. Oh, about half a point, it looks like. For the most part, I saw it tick up a little bit to 3/4 of a point, but for the most part, it usually is half a point or a quarter point. That's true, unless they run it down, back up, and then down. But definitely, there are a lot of probably more shorts open than longs. What? What just happened? It canceled my order. My hands are not even on the computer. What the hell just happened? Right as it turned 220, it canceled. It canceled the open order. I've never seen that happen before. That was crazy. Did anybody else catch that? That was crazy. I'm glad it was a demo trade, so it didn't really matter. But for it to just close without my hands were, I was eating tangerines. A dot, did you just join? Did you just join in? That could be. That could be. Maybe my wife did cancel it because she is literally in the other room. Yep. Okay. You just joined. All right. Yeah. We ran a poll just before FOMC and I said, I'll take a demo trade and I let everyone vote which direction we should go. And because of the volatility from FOMC, if you get into a trade, I went down and I looked at where it would invalidate. It would invalidate because we were looking at the daily high and the daily low. So it would invalidate at the daily low. And that's why there was a 50-point stop loss. But then like a 80-point TP, 79 and a half. No, Giorgio, no, she doesn't trade. She's not interested. But the thing is, we never got tapped in because the entry was down here at 17,449. The candle opened at 1769, dropped down to 57, and then bought up. So we never even got tapped in. There never was a trade, even though it was a demo. I didn't want a market execution just because of how how price just takes off at 1400. And if it was already going to be up here, then there was no way I could put a stop all the way down. Either way, this is one of the slower paced FOMCs I've seen in recent memory. Yeah, you're right, Richard. Yeah, she's definitely not. She's not into this at all. Oh, you entered on the 5 minute. Okay, 42 in a demo trade. Okay, I don't think so. Laughter. I don't think so. Not that I saw. All right, Queen. So this was you here. Once you got this, you entered on a retracement back in. Now it tapped the 830, the fair value gap, and then built up out of it. Long tool and all right, we have the press conference coming up in about 4 minutes. FOMC press conference in 4 minutes. Yep. And it went close. We got, yeah, 528. So we got about 2 points to go. But he said ICT said he would look for a long if it closed above 530. Keep in mind on the 5 minute frame, we flipped bullish after this closing this candle at 2 o'clock. All right, there it is, daily high first. However, we didn't get tapped in. So the only way to win this trade is at 2 o'clock or just before. We would have had to do a market execution. But 63% of you said the daily high was going to be the first one to go, and you were right. Let's go up to the 15 and see where things are. You know, we don't often look at this time frame, but it shows considerably more. More price action gives us about a 24-hour view of price. All right, is this what we needed to get started on a buy model on the 4-hour? Or not even the 4-hour, the 1-hour? Been holding along. Wow. Okay, Molly. Double diamond hands. Yep, it could. Absolutely. So we got another minute and a half or a little bit less, and then we'll have the press conference starting with um, the statement that they read, and then they take Q&A. Right up to 560 now. After beginning at 469, so 90 points to the upside. All right, here we are. Press conference. I think it'd be really interesting where we land in about 30 minutes. If we land with just a big wick and we're closing somewhere down here, then I'm not feeling as bullish on the 1 hour. But if we can maybe retrace and close somewhere up to where we are now, then I'm feeling pretty good about the next few sessions looking bullish. $580, then wick 600. Ray, is that the same? Isn't that the same call you made earlier that you said you were looking for that from the morning session? If I'm memory serves me correct, I think that was the same number you called. Yep. Okay. Rosie, it's the last 10 minutes of every hour and the first 10 minutes of the following hour. So the next macro is 250 to 310. Last candle took 15 minutes to get up there. This candle took 2 minutes to erase it. Yep, 315 to 345 is the only one that's weird like that with that kind of timetable. But otherwise, it's just a 20-minute time period between the last 10 minutes and the first 10 minutes. He ran from 560 down to 460, back up to 560 in a matter of 4 minutes. Yep, this is why you sit on the sideline and you just you say all the what ifs. Oh, what if I was in that trade? But we all know better. Molly's still holding. All right. Just had an 80-point move down in about 20 seconds. Yeah, so this is what I expected FOMC to do these 100-point runs in opposite directions. Which is why I thought where I put the trade that I tried to enter, I thought it would tap me in, but it didn't retrace very much, which was a bit uncharacteristic. Maybe we should watch this on the 1 minute since it's doing so much right now. One thing it has not done is close above this fair value gap. Close below 462. Okay. Oh, that reminds me, I need to. All right, there we go. Finally broke that high. Yep. All right, let's get back to a higher time frame so we can see more of historical candles. Let's do the 15 again. Oh, are you? Are you looking for what, 600, Molly? Oh, okay, never mind. Who cares what it is? It's already passed. Yep, that was 600, and that was the consequent encroachment of the wick on the 15-minute. Daily high is gone. All right, this 5-minute protected high now swings low. Down here, the same low as the daily low. So I'll just leave that there for a moment. We'll see if we get new highs this afternoon. If we do, then we'll shift that up. Otherwise, tomorrow morning, we'll just keep that in mind. $6.26. Okay, it's up 150 points now from the open, or from FOMC starting at 2 o'clock. Oh, you know what? This level doesn't matter. This was when it was a bullish fair value gap. Let me delete this. This is lunch high from yesterday. Okay. Sony, maybe. It's possible. We have Qualcomm announcing they're in the top 20 on Nasdaq. They're announcing today after the session. So it's possible, but they're the only company in the top 20. It's probably more likely tomorrow because Apple is announcing. So Apple's a much bigger player. So it's more like, and you have FOMC already. So the market's doing quite a bit of movement right now. But it's possible. It's definitely possible. Okay. All right. That level's gone. PG, you do not want to press that buy badly. With a candle like this, you don't want to do it. I know it's a 15-minute candle, so it's a lot. Even if price does continue to go up, you may end up getting a pullback that's too large for you to handle. So just be content with not being in this trade. Unless you can get down to like the 5 second or something and find an entry. Right, are we into the second half of the press conference, the Q&A portion? Or is this just merely a pullback of some kind? Yeah, this is absolutely. And that's why you either become a spectator on these days or you just stay away altogether and, plan your week accordingly and do something else. You're getting more comfortable. Molly, I would say you're more than comfortable. You said you were holding your trade since this morning. You held it all the way through the chop, all of this where nothing was really happening. And you held it through FOMC where it delivered plenty of profit for you and you still held it. So I don't know how you do it, but most people couldn't hold it the way you do. 252 handles from the breaker. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. So when it broke above the breaker here around 115 and closed above, yeah, anyone who went long, they were right. Yep, let me drop back down to the 5 minute and we'll see that this breaker from this morning. So the breaker was set 5:30 or so, confirmed at 7, dropped the entry in at 8. delivered before the opening bell once, dropped back down, delivered a second time, dropped down a third time. Didn't quite deliver, but just kind of bounced around. We did have a closure below on the 5-minute because this is a 5-minute breaker. Immediately reclaimed it with power and speed, and then that was it. Oh, you held yours too, Miss Healthy. All right. Jeez. All right, so we got 2 of them. Yeah, anyone entering on this breaker, anyone who entered at the edge of this breaker and held it all the way to the high, that was $5,000 per mini contract because it was over 250 points. But Queen, I think it was you who mentioned that we hadn't made any higher highs. We just kept making lower highs all day, which we can all see. I even drew a trend line to show it. And that's what FOMC used as liquidity. Each of those highs were taken all the way up. Let me get rid of this. Okay, we're in the macro again. All right, so this is Monday. No, this is yesterday. Sorry, yesterday's lunch high, 17,776. Yep. And let that be a lesson to everyone. If you listen, reading what Molly is talking about, thing was pulling all the way back and moved up 100 points, back down 100 points. But one of the things that helped her stay in the trade was the fact that she had a great entry. She was in really early and she had enough room to allow the trade to move around. And that's why it's hard to chase price, because if you get in and you're not in at the beginning, any of those retracements and you're either in drawdown or you're scared out of your trade, one of the two. Yep, dollar is driving us. All right, we'll give price a few more minutes and let the dust settle, and then we'll resume our regularly scheduled program now that all the fireworks is over. In about 4 minutes or so, we'll have these fair value gaps below us disappear. Oops, the hell. Yep, so we'll have these two bearish ones below us disappear if we can close above them in about 3 or 4 minutes. And then we'll just be dealing with the bearish fair value gap above with the April 30th lunch high sitting right at the entry point. Above that, we have session highs from middle of April. We could revisit the 2021 all-time high last week. S&P took back that level and reclaimed it. I didn't check to see if it lost it yesterday during the sell-off. But I know that was a key level to pay attention to. In fact, while price is where it is, let's just take a look and see what happened to all the indices during this hour, as well as USD. Let's see how it traded. Oh man, not even in the screen anymore. All right, so we found a bullish fair value gap, but man, it's back at the lows of yesterday morning, 6 and 7 o'clock yesterday morning. That's where it's trading. We have the Dow, which has been bullish all day, trying to give us a sign that we should be looking for higher prices. We had also S&P didn't want to take the morning low. It left it intact, while we did see liquidity swept by Nasdaq during lunch. Maybe that was a giveaway, that we had a sweep of prices and it was pushing higher. And as we were heading into FOMC, it broke it closed higher than the fair value gap here. It even traded higher than the breaker and closed. And so we had all of those signs there. We also saw a market structure shift back to bullish a few minutes into FOMC. So there were a lot of clues that was given to us, dictating that maybe the final price would be a bullish run. But in the middle of all that, it could always retrace back down and stop you out. So it doesn't mean that you would have had a winning trade. Unless, of course, you had a great entry like Molly had. All right, so fair value gap here on the hourly. Okay, we're looking at, like I said, 17,776. So let's get back over. Yep, final minute of the hour. Power hour is up next. You killing it, TJ? All right, 3 o'clock. Let's see if it runs this high quickly. It's April 30th lunch high and run into the higher time frame fair value gap. Okay, we just saw those bearish ones below us disappear. They're no longer valid. We got a couple bullish ones. And then we have the bearish ones that were created during the sell-off yesterday and Monday. All right, so we're in there. Just mark up a consequent encroachment here. Okay, so Ray's looking at 17,791 and a quarter. There it is. All right, that paves the way for higher prices to continue. How many contracts did you enter in to get 25K in profit? In a long, and you got stopped a bit higher than break even. But even, eh, yeah, something doesn't sound right. You got stopped a little higher than break even. And now it's 25K in profit. $75 CFDs, dollar per point. Okay. So that's equivalent to almost 4 contracts. I don't know. I'm struggling with the math here. But anyway, Giorgio, congrats, man. Looks like you got 25K. Okay. Price should drop below here now. Oops. Oh, I see what you, okay, got it. Okay, if you were in the trade, it would be 25K in profit. Okay, got it. Sorry about that, Giorgio. I misunderstood what you typed. Yeah, don't freak out though, Giorgio. Don't freak out. The way price moves during this news announcement, it's only once a month or once every other month. It's it's volatile. It's not one of the trades you really want to be in anyway. Just because the same you say you're 25K in profit, or you probably wouldn't be that far in a hole, but it could hit you pretty bad. And the market moves so quickly that even with a stop loss, you could still end up eating another 10 to 15 points, depending on which candle hits your stop. So that's already invalidated. Let's move up to the 5 minute until we get to the back half of the hour, and we'll take another look and see if any of the announcements from the earnings report pushes price higher around 350. One of your best days ever, TJ? Queen, you waiting on 2 more points? uh, oh, 800. I see. Okay. All right, so now the protected low is here at the top of the fair value gap. You say we're going down once Powell gets finished speaking. Watch Queen. Watch it run up to 800 now. Yeah, everyone, if you have not liked the stream yet, if you could do me a big favor and hit the thumbs up button. It shows about 1 in 7, 1 in 8 of you have hit the thumbs up button. Thanks, Molly. I appreciate you. It's just the low of this candle. That's all. And that's because, Roberto, we had a price push in and reject back out closing. We had this candle push right up to the edge, close below. And so I'm just expecting price to come down and touch this level. But it may not. In fact, I think I may have actually hit that when we were on the 1 minute. Yeah. Yeah, and here you can see the failure where it went up, couldn't close above, and then started breaking back down. So I just marked this up to see if price would trade down to that level. right? Yep. Yep. So if you're marking out your bearish breakers, you want to mark out a retracement. You're going to find yourself a retracement, and then it trades above, and then it crashes. The 3:03 p.m. candle. Let me see, where's mine off of. Hmm. Yeah, I marked mine on the 2:45 candle. Also on the 3-minute. Mm-hmm. All right, let's go to the 3 minutes since we've been talking about it. Yep. Queen, I think Queen said she likes this candle here. There's not been a candle below that closed, so no confirmation just yet. $74.50. Ah, okay. So I didn't. Mm, so this is probably like a 2 minute, maybe. A minute. Yeah. Mm. What about this 15-second one here? Should have trade back into it 3 or 4 times, 5, 6, 7. It's like right at 3 o'clock. Trade down, above, through, retest, lower low, retest. All right, that was fun to look at. Let's sit back on this 3 minute here. $300 handles. Hmm. Yep, that's probably about what I thought FOMC would do. That's seems like a normal day. 300 point move. I mean, I've seen 400, but 300 is pretty solid. Wait a minute. Another minute to see where we end up. And let's see how far it retraces here. Whether we get a 716 or 737. Maybe only 706. Yeah. Yeah. Sell side liquidity was taken during lunch, I believe. Mm. People FOMO and chase. Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely advise people not to chase price and not to have FOMO. I mean, if you look at the charts and you can't talk yourself into taking the same trade, then you shouldn't be in the trade. Um, I know there are people here who are successful and have been trading for quite some time, but what they see and what you see are completely different. They're justifying it for themselves, and it doesn't mean they're going to be right. So yeah, people need to definitely ask questions and learn as much as they can, but you have to take the setups that you believe in. And you have to be able to anticipate the setups. Nice. Okay. All right. So a nice little bearish fair value gap here. Not give anyone an entry. We went from 790 all the way so far we're down to 550. Yeah, definitely it gave entries. Only thing is the breakers were really big, and so you had to decide whether you would just enter and hope it didn't get back to your stop loss, or however you typically enter breakers. Some people wait to midpoint, some take it at the very edge. So you'd have had to do it the way you like to. But the breakers were large. Like this would have been one of the breakers, and this is 30 points, I think. 736. No, this is 80 points. 640, 730. Yep. Yeah, it's some 85-point breakers. So you would have had to decide if you were comfortable with that. Similarly, on the move up, the breaker was large like that as well. Nope, I sure did not take it. I didn't. No. Yeah, the risk was too big for me to take that one. Mm. Yeah, no, it doesn't fit my trade criteria. Because I'm looking at the breaker I had, and it retraced 30 points into it. It didn't go to consequent encroachment, which was probably another 12 points, but it did trade in 30 points. So yeah, if I had put it at consequent encroachment, it would not have tapped me in. If I had got in at the edge, uh, I would have had to absorb 30 points of drawdown. So, and if it passed consequent encroachment because it also was a fair value gap there, then yeah, it was just too much. But no, congrats for all of you who took it and it worked out for you. Good night. It's 3:50 in about 30 seconds. So we got about 20 minutes left in the session today. CT said the macro between 3:15 and 3:45 normally trades to the midnight open or moves in that direction. I just thought that since we had already passed it just last hour that it wouldn't run forward again, but here we are. It looks like the 8:30 open is next. Hope those on the fence about whether there are buying and selling pressure that drives price, or if there's actually an algorithm that runs. I hope this puts that to bed. Yeah, we could. We absolutely could. And especially since there are earnings being announced, we absolutely could. Those lows we talked about earlier is down right around 17,400. Let's give this breaker one more go and see if it holds. Mm-hmm. Oh, you mean on the short, Richard? Yeah. Richard, if you're talking about the short, how are you supposed to trade that? Well, it never retraced back in. So it just depends on how you like to trade breakers. If you need a retest, then you weren't going to get in. That wasn't going to be your trade. You're just going to miss it. If you're the type of person that once the candle closes below, you just enter and at least have an entry because you maybe trade on micros or something, then that would have been your entry there. But outside of that, Richard, you just some trades are just not for you to catch. All right, so we close below this protected low, so I'll have to shift that around, and now we have a protected high up where price started. So another 300 points up. So most likely we're going to stay bearish heading into tomorrow unless something major happens over London. But we're now putting candle bodies on the fair value gap once again. I've been calling for this thing to fail all day, and every time it continues to work. All right, let's see if it puts out 30 points again. Oh, there it is. There's a 30. All right, Molly, take care. We'll catch you tomorrow. Yep. Anyone in a trade, you got about 7 minutes before you need to close out. All right, WC. Catch you later. Splash. Hmm. All right. Check you tomorrow. Yeah, Luke, definitely does seem like a good time to close down the laptop. Normally stream every morning, 9:15, and then come back in the afternoon. Just found you today, Tanya. Hmm. Huh, I've never met Tanya, so I think it's cool that she recommended you come check out our stream. Thanks, Vivian. Thanks for letting them know. That's cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Maybe it's similar to like maybe Cami, just because we're streaming in the afternoon, and maybe they only stream in the morning. So maybe that's when she advised them to follow us for the afternoon if they were looking for somewhere to hang out. Oh, I see. It was next to mine. I see on YouTube. See, that's why I say everyone should like the video, and then YouTube will start putting it up on more people's screens, and they can find us. Okay, got it. No problem. So YouTube recommended us for people who are also searching for Tanya. Got it. All right. Well, we do trade ICT concepts, which she also trades, so I can see why they paired us up together. Yep. Awesome. Well, glad to have you. Glad you joined the session today. Hopefully, we'll see you again, and bring a few friends with you next time. All right, everyone. Less than 3 minutes. Less than 3 minutes. Any final questions or comments before today's that session ends? Yep. All right, everyone. Just like Ray had mentioned, when you're looking at FOMC and you see the big move happening at 2:30, Ray said you can sit on the sideline and you can catch the retrace, which will be similar size and volatility. You just got to wait a little bit. So I would advise everyone to, during your back testing sessions, it's going to be hard on these quarterly contracts. So you'll probably have to go to the continuous contract, but go back to some previous FOMC sessions and look and see how price played out at 2 o'clock, what it was doing at 2:30, 3:30, and try to gain some insight as to how price moves during that time. I don't know. Queen, are you going to post that? Awesome. That's sweet. Thank you, Richard. Appreciate you. Yep, everyone who's not part of the Discord, it's free membership. You can find a link in my description. It'll say like social media/Discord. Click on that. It'll take you to another site that'll have several different links for either prop firms or social media links for me. Click on the Discord. It should take you right there. You should be able to join immediately, and then you'll start seeing in the trading folder, you'll start seeing that people are talking about trades, posting their ideas, or posting trades that they already made, just so you can see what they saw and how the trade played out. Thank you very much, Vivian. I appreciate your support of the channel and you being here often. So everyone, that's going to do it for our session today. I appreciate you for everything that you do. Hopefully some of you were able to gain some money today trading, and the rest of you who were like me, who just watched from the sideline, hopefully gained some insight and are better prepared to trade FOMC next time, or as a minimum kept your capital so you can trade tomorrow. So that'll do it. Like the stream on your way out if you haven't. If you're also new and you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that as well. We're streaming every day, but you want to make sure that you not only get the invites, but you also get reminders. With that being said, have a good evening. Tomorrow morning, 9:15. See you then. Take care.